listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology coach, and personalized learning coordinator for my district.
And I am Tech Tools for Teachers super producer. I'm just kidding.
That's okay. You can give yourself a fancier title.
I am the producer extraordinaire. I'm more humble than that.
Really?
I push buttons
Question.
really well. I'm Fuzz.
Hi.
Hello. Good morning. Or afternoon or evening.
Or good night.
Or good night. How are you?
I'm good. It feels like spring.
It does feel like spring. It's very rejuvenating.
I feel like after last week's little virtual gardening, now I'm in like garden mode. Whether it really needs to be or not, I don't know, but I've decided it's time to start gardening. There's still snow on the ground, mind you, but
Yeah, I suppose I need to get the new garden built. Might be weekend.
Because really though, I was reading something, it was a meme or something about Wisconsin, how this is called false spring.
Yes, this is false spring. This gets our hopes up, and then we're going to get hit with a snowstorm.
It'll just drop. The temperature will be like, yeah, let's bring plants outside, like dead the next day. Because everything freezes until May.
How do you feel about 15 inches of snow in May?
Right. Oh, did you put your shovel away? Why?
Yes.
You can use the garden shovels for that then.
I will not get the lawnmower summarized because you winterize it and then I guess you summarize it.
Is that like after you tell a story about it?
Yes. So in conclusion,
nice.
It's a lawnmower that cuts grass very well.
Cool.
But if I get it ready now,
it's sure gonna snow.
So it's like washing your car,
you
and then it
swap
rains.
From snowblower to the.
So I'm gonna just gonna wait it out till some other neighbor mows their lawn.
You're right. You're always the first one on the block.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're probably right.
I know. So this week, after we did a little virtual gardening last week, is actually kind of, I always like to call it a mini episode because, my mini episodes are just as long as a regular episode, but in my brain, it'll be like shorter.
Yeah, you were like, hey, it's going to be a mini episode, and I just don't even bother worrying about that.
Because I'm like, it'll be cute, and it'll be short. It'll be like a 10-minute or just like, here's a couple tips today, and it never works that way. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's a mini episode in my brain. I have had so many requests lately for random group generators. Like I don't know if it's because it's third quarter and everyone's like, holy cats, we need to mix it up a bit. Or if it's because you can only think in your brain how many ways to group kids. Because if you want to like have kids grouped without being near their friends or being near their friends or by whatever the task may be, and your brain just hurts at this point, you're like, just put a group together for me. So I've had so many requests. So this week, I'm quoting, quote unquote, mini episode is going to be about random group generators. Cool. So I think some of these, like there's 3 of them. I feel like some are more popular than others, but I'm kind of throw them all out there because if you need one, you'll have some little tech tools in your pocket. So my first random group generator, which actually I see a lot on Facebook often for various, like, I'm giving away cool nail stick-ons. Or
like, hey, beauty boss babe.
I'm giving away cool, like, lip gloss. Or, hey, friends, free Starbucks on me. Throw your name in. And
click
it is.
Like, and
I'm going to put your name into the Wheel of Names.
Wheel of Names.
So it's wheelofnames.com. If you haven't seen it or you aren't sure you haven't seen it, go to the site and be like, oh, I've seen that before. But what I don't think people realize, and I wish more would, like you can actually edit Wheel of Names. Obviously, you can edit to put people's names in. Like that's a given.
Yep.
On the little right-hand side of the screen, you just slap your list of people in, copy and paste it, type them in, whatever you want, and run it. And it'll spin and they'll pick somebody and it'll great. But across the top of the screen, folks, there are choices. So you can click customize and change it from those cool primary colors that we keep seeing with red, yellow, green, and blue. You can swap it out, man. You can choose to spin for up to 60 seconds. You can swap out the number of names visible on the wheel, like up to 1,000 names could go onto your wheel. I don't know how that would actually look, but you can. After the spin, you can animate the entry, or you can launch confetti, or you can display a pop-up message like "You are awesome," and you can change the colors. Please change the colors.
We used this recently for a giveaway we were doing for a nonprofit that I was at.
Yes.
And it was a...
I bet you didn't change the colors of launch confetti.
No, we didn't change the numbers or launch the confetti. However,
but you could have.
We were doing a live broadcast,
yep.
And everybody who had entered this raffle-y thing, I don't know if it was technically a raffle.
Yep.
Don't sue us. Was entered into this, and spun the name.
Did you know that there are sounds? You can change the sounds.
I just
you can have cheerful music, drum and bass, disco music. There's a giant list of sounds. You don't have to just have the ticking sound when it's twirling.
I have my headphones on, and I just clicked it. By the way, Eric won on the sample version. Congratulations to Sample Eric. But I did hear the beep noise and the cheering, and I saw the confetti flying at the screen. So
when I just clicked it, Beatrice won. So
congratulations, Beatrice.
On that note, Wheel of Names, you can edit and make it cool. It can not just be editing your list of names, but if you take like an extra 2 seconds, maybe 10, and you click on customize, you can jazz it up. Also, because there's ads, and if you're using it in your classroom, make it full screen.
Oh, there you go.
Then it takes away the ads, and then you don't have to see all that stuff.
Nice.
So,
you can actually even click the close ad button too.
Yes, you can also close the ad, but then after a certain amount of time, it's going to come back.
So cool for PBIS stuff too, I assume.
If you're doing giveaways or raffle things, we actually do a lot of raffles with our students for tickets and stuff. That would definitely work. You can click new. You can save them. You can share.
Who's going to give their speech first today?
Yes. Let's see. Wheel of Names.
Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's see.
Poor kids. Don't do that to your
Don't
students.
do that. But we're going to see out of this group, it's going to be Charles.
You're up first.
Beatrice almost got it, but it was Charles.
Yes. So if you want to make if you're gamifying your classroom, which was like 2 weeks ago in our episodes, we're talking about gamifying things. Here you go. You got a wheel.
By the way,
you can also put topics in there. It doesn't have to be names necessarily. Like we'll go in. I'll go off on my tangent in the next website.
But the cool thing about this one too that we used when we were doing the giveaway at the nonprofit that I work with is once you spin it, you can click remove, and that person can't win again. So it takes them off the wheel. So if you have 10 people, you spin it, you click remove. Once it's done,
then it's like a cakewalk. Or is it musical chairs? Then it's like musical chairs.
Yes.
And then the last person standing is the winner.
Oh. So you don't want your name to come up.
Right.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
I'm going to just do that for the rest of the episode.
Just twirl. Well, wait, there's more.
But wait.
There's more twirling to happen. So that's Wheel of Names. Again, if you haven't tried it, try it. And if you have tried it, jazz it up. Because there's cool ways to jazz it up.
Sounds good.
Site number 2. Okay. It's called pickerwheel.com. Pickerwheel. PICKERWHEEL.com. I'm on tonight. I can spell things. All right. So pickerwheel.com will give you, so this one has options, but they don't necessarily show up right away. So like I will link it in and it'll say like yes or no picker wheel. And this one's preset where it's already done with like yeses and nos on it. And you can choose yes, no, or maybe. You can change out your numbers and you can make your own wheel that way. But then if you scroll down just a little bit, the website is one of those cool, it's a freebie. They have the little link to buy us a coffee on it. So it's kind of a work in progress. If you scroll down a little bit under like tool settings, you'll see a lot of ads in this one. But you'll see quick tool links which to me I would normally see it at the top of a screen, but here it's kind of in the middle. It's below the one that you choose.
Okay.
There are options. So there's a picker wheel, there's team picker wheel, number picker wheel, letter picker wheel, image picker wheel. And so you can choose the setup depending on what you need.
Sure.
So you don't have to type in a bunch of stuff. So like you can click number picker wheel if every kid, a lot of times they have like names in your classroom where they know like I'm number 2 always because you get your number 2 book, number 2 computer, whatever you're going to do. So if you've already got a setup with your kids that are numbered, you can do the number picker wheel and drop in just the max numbers and you can spin it for your kids that way and just run it and spin it. If you are going to do like an image picker wheel, you can choose, they have like things that are kind of color coded, or you can upload your own images and drop images into a picker wheel, which is kind of cool. So if you have maybe younger students and you need to see their face, or if they're connecting like animals or like different things, or maybe they have groups that are like animal names or different things, so you can drop it in however you want to. And then with this one also, as you scroll down, it gives you directions on each one. So like in that middle section, so you always have the one you chose at the top. Then if you kind of scroll through some ads, there's like the 6 choices that you can pick from for the different types of wheels. And then if you keep on scrolling, it gives you different uses for each one and how to use them.
Sure.
So all of the directions are in there as well, which is kind of nice. So it's a freebie. There's a lot of options with it. There's a lot going on when you're trying to find it, but once you get used to using one, it's super easy. So, and there's just a lot of options. I like this one because it's not just names. It's got presets. And if you're doing like a team picker wheel, which is kind of cool, you can choose how many teams you want, and then you can randomly drop people into teams.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So
you could use it for, growing up, my last name started with a B. And so I was always like first-ish in line. But you could also use it for like, let's draw a letter for which we're going to start this lining people up.
Well, and this one too, like in the group one, you can load in your like full class list, and then team 1, team 2, drop it, and it automatically puts you in like a random group. So it'll just drop kids. It twirls, but then just drops them into a group for you, and the groups pop up. So
yeah, that's cool.
That's pretty sweet for like group picking, and you can choose however many groups you want to do.
And then you don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
And if so and so's with such and such,
sometimes you're like, oh, maybe we don't want them in the same group. Let's spin again. But yeah, you can have like 10 groups in there, and
you can spin it, look at it. If it doesn't work,
Spin
Don't project it up onto the smart board.
Right. Don't project until you're for sure that's how you want to do it. But anyway, so that's pickerwheel.com. There's actually there's 6 different picker wheels that you can pick from.
Spin the picker wheel to find out which picker wheel you should use.
There you go.
Whoa, picker wheel inception.
Our third picker wheel. It's our third site, which is another picker. But this one's called commentpicker.com. 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 And if you thought 6 was a lot of options in the last one, let me tell you. So they have they do have Facebook and Instagram stuff on there, which we're going to ignore. They have winner pickers, which actually links to Wheel of Names in there. But then they have wheel pickers, random generators, and they have, 5, 10, 15, 20, at least 20 different random generators. They have name generators, which are separate from random generators. And then they've got text, adjustments you can do, and there's math, different things. There's all kinds of stuff. So, this commentpicker.com is a host of all kinds of ways of organizing information, basically. I
just sent myself a note to remind. So I work at an ad agency. Mm-hmm. We have a social media team who has to pick winners from Facebook and Instagram all the time.
There you go.
Didn't know about this. And
look at that.
What we used to do was drop all the names into a spreadsheet and then random number generator to the
no need
to the number. We're not going to do that anymore.
No. See, just taught you something. So I just
appreciate
picked like random animal generator, and it shows again. It's one of those where like it says random animal generator, and like where's the information? So you have to scroll down past the ad, and it's animal generator, and you can choose how many animals, like all the animals, 1 through 25 are all. Animal name should start with what letter? Y. Separate animals with a name. Go. Generate animals. And then list of animals. A yak, yellow-eyed penguin, yellowfin tuna, Yorkshire terrier. Like, it's just crazy. So it's like random animals. They do have random group generators in here. They have random MAC address generators and random color generators and random password generators. And basically any type of generator you could possibly want, they have one here. So if you need to do groups, if you need to do winners, they have capitals, they have letters, like random letter generator, pet name generator. They have their little algorithm here. You just kind of plunk in the information on the right-hand side. They give you directions on the left-hand side. And you can do anything. But they do have a random name generator and a random group generator, which is really what I'm focused on in the classroom is I need random groups. And so you can go right in, pull up a random group. They even have a QR code generator if you need one of those.
All right. I'm going to...
a tournament bracket generator.
Oh,
which
nice.
to me is always a nightmare when you have to bracket stuff out.
Yeah.
So that's in there.
All right. I'm going to generate a random animal.
Okay.
Starting with the letter A.
Okay.
And I want you to make the sound of that animal that comes up. Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, here we go.
Nope.
Australian Shepherd. No?
Woof.
Okay. All right, good. American Foxhound. Also woof. Alligator.
Like teeth chomping.
American Water Spaniel. All right.
Woof. So on that note, think of all the fun you can have with the random generators, and your students can have too. Whether you need groups put together.
I'm going to send myself this too because this is going to end up in a meeting at work.
See? Or if you need to like liven up staff chats. Yeah. There's just so many options though. But even they have, like this one even has like an inches to centimeters converter. Like this site just has so many like kind of tooly things all in one
there's
place.
Like somebody's like, oh, I should probably I keep needing this. I should just put this on my website.
Right. With everything else under the planet. But
how many centimeters is that?
There are so many pickers and generators that it just, if you need a set of tools, commentpicker.com will probably have it there for you. And just trying to make your life a little bit easier, here are all the tools in one place.
By the way, 700 plus animals. Not that that's the only thing, but...
Great.
I kind of want to just keep doing this and hear you say woof.
How many times I can say woof on the podcast?
Yes.
I think we're good. We're good on that.
Let's go to the count.
Yeah, we're good. On that note, look at that. It's a mini episode. It was almost a mini episode. You're giving me weird faces now.
Well, because you had another.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, that was like in with the last one that had so many.
Gotcha.
Had like options within.
I see. Okay.
That was my rant earlier. So, There you go. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at SmartNWI. If you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartnwi.com. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
Woof. The ideas and opinions expressed in this podcast on the Smart NWI website are those of the author Shannon Martin and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we sure hope they do. And we will talk to you next time on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.